Hello and welcome to episode, I don't fucking know, of the Bad Psychics podcast. This is our US Big Brother 28 episode. At time of recording, it begins tomorrow night. I will hopefully have got this episode edited and out the next day. But either way, we have our usual 3 summer months of chaos and carnage somewhere in LA. As always, I am joined by a trio of idiots. And to begin with, I predict of all the reality TV formats, she's most likely to sign up for Big Brother, because where else would she find 17 people to convert to Mormonism who won't slam a door in her face? It's
Oh no, they still will. There's still doors in the Big Brother house. They still will.
They just slide.
that was a good one though. I'll give you that. That was a new one.
Thank you.
So
How you doing, Cass?
I am alive. Functioning is a question mark, but alive, yes.
Good. Excellent. Next up, I predict he's desperate for one of the returnees on BB28 to be Howie, because he thinks what the show's truly missing is sex pestery and casual misogyny. It's Jeet.
Definitely not what I'm looking forward to this season, but with this cast, we might get it. Hi, everyone. Would everyone like to hear what I wrote for Z?
Go on.
Yes.
I predict that we have an unemployed man living in his parents' house who doesn't stop talking about how important he is to everyone. It's the people's champ, Vince. Oh, sorry, Z.
I did have to give him credit. It was a good line when he told me earlier. I approve.
I mean, that
And
was fantastic.
and finally, making his debut, I predict, given his penchant for all things beige and misshapen, he's the one person who'd have said yes when asked if anybody wants cake. It's Benji.
I mean, at least it wasn't Keisha.
I've got to get the audience familiar immediately with the accusation that everything you eat is beige.
We're evolving. For the sake of my gut, we are evolving. It's now light beige.
How you doing, Benji?
We are alive, thriving, and kicking. I'm ready to read. Let's go.
Perfect. All right. So as usual, we have got a couple of different sheets to go through. We'll be going through all of the players, saying how we think they're going to get on, and then we've got a few miscellaneous predictions to get by. Hopefully, Benji has done a better job than Cass did on her first episode of actually filling in the right things in the right places, and we won't have loads of edits.
To be fair, my first episode was one of this podcast's first episodes, so we were all learning at that point.
I mean, everyone else did it right.
Yes, you just did lots of
will
other
never
things
forget.
wrong.
So
I will never forget, we turned the medevac and everybody has said no, and Cass has given us a name.
Yes.
she said specifically, this is who is going to go.
No,
And then doubled down and said it's because I think that they're a bitch.
yeah,
It's
and then
giving,
I
voted for
wrong.
Chuck to stay. No, you voted for Chuck to
Wait,
go.
who was it? Pizza Man that I thought was gonna be medevacs?
Yes.
I mean, I'll
was
find
it?
it. You guys go through into the intro. I'll find
Yeah,
this.
I'm trying to remember who it was.
I'm on it.
'Cause there was.
Anyway. All right. let's switch to our spreadsheet in a whole for this episode. So, first of all, we are going to go through the players and our thoughts on them. So, everybody is going to get put into one of 4 categories: pre-juror, juror, finalist, i.e., will be there on the final night, so second or third, and winner. There are differing points for different predictions. And because we don't know exactly how many jurors or pre-jurors they're going to be, everybody has been told they must have a maximum of 9 of either. So we'll find out if everybody has managed to stick to all of those rules. But we will start off with Ashley. Ashley is our 24-year-old bartender from Illinois. Let's reveal everybody's picks. Okay, interesting. We have a split. Benji's even been really specific with his, which I don't object to. So Cass and Benji have both gone for pre-jury, in Benji's case specifically late pre-jury. Gita and I both saying she will be a juror. I mean, Benji, given you've been so specific and it's your first episode, I'll come to you first. Why is Ashley a late pre-juror?
All right, so with the Broville, I feel like I gravitate toward her a little bit. She claims to be infectious with her personality. I kind of get 50-50. I feel like it's harder to read her during this like very scripted interview compared to the normalcies of and in and outs of her daily life within the Big Brother house that we're going to get a look at. She very much detailed that, she's going to be more of a social player, the bartender. We've kind of seen that same trope with the VIP cocktail waitress out of like Rachel, one of our winners, and Portia, and I think Janelle potentially at one point. Um, so there is a potential narrative for her to do well there, where I think what I need from her is to see how adaptable she is when the strategy she's currently trying to go in with, which is like, oh, getting a strong alliance from the beginning to run the game, doesn't fucking happen. Or there are moves that don't necessarily specify an advantage or a gain to her, and how she pivots from that, or how she manages to maneuver that while in the game. Because if not, I feel like either she might be like over really quickly, or she'll straddle into the bootstraps and be like, okay, what needs to get done? The reason I think she's late pre-jury is that if she does manage to get what she wants for a certain section of time, people are either going to catch on to that, or just realize, hey, maybe she's more expendable and kind of work around her rather than with her.
Very
Um, for anyone that sees this in the future, I love for bitches to prove me wrong. So take anything I say with a grain of salt. I'm ready to be proven wrong, happy to be proven wrong, but today is going to be what it's going to be today.
But Gita, thank you for editing one of your predictions randomly, so that showed up on the screen.
Yeah, it's fine. I made a slight modification. I decided if we're being specific, I wanted to type that one out. So
Okay. I mean, Benji has made the case for Ashley to be pre-jury. Gita, you can make the case for her being a juror.
yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see. I'll qualify this by saying this is the 3rd season of Big Brother US that I will be watching. But I'm curious to see how this house plays out, because it felt like all of last season, especially early, there just wasn't really like sides of a house. Like it kind of felt like everybody was kind of in one big circle, and like there were connections across the circle, but like it wasn't really a split. It was just like everybody's all kind of kumbaya peace circle a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
At least until like the mid game. And I'm curious how this house will play out. And I think the reason why I went juror is because I think that Ashley might be the sort of person who's kind of like a hub of inner information, not inherently even playing the middle, but just the sort of person who likes to get in the mix at sharing things. But I don't think that you can make it that far if you like know that one of your weaknesses is that you overshare. Excuse me, because when you're in a situation like this and in a high pressure house, one slip of the tongue and you can blow up your game. And I think if somebody knows that they're prone to sharing information that they shouldn't, it's good that you know that, but can you control that for long enough? You know, I think that there's some people here who might not have the social savvy to do that. In like even make the mid game, but I think that, you know, yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, you will see that we have 4 people who are referred to by initials. We're pretty sure we know who 3 of them are. These are all people who have played CBS reality formats before. But we don't officially know 100%. So we've put them as initials for now. However, we are still going to try and predict them based on who we think they are. And then we have, first one we have is A, which I think all of us are pretty sure is Angela from BB26. It'll be a shock if it's not. Let's see what we think. Okay, again, we've got a split. Interestingly, again, the split is Jita and I and Cass and Benji. I am that sure that Angela will be a pre-juror, that this is where I've put my joker for this half. There is no way she makes jury again.
Just a hater.
I am a hater. I found her I enjoy chaos, but I think some of her chaos started to veer into bully territory, and I'm not especially here for it. Like, she had some great one-liners, don't get me wrong, but I didn't particularly like her. And part of my logic is that there are rumors that the L that you see on the screen that hasn't been revealed could be her daughter Lexi. If there's the 2 of them, both in there, my gut feeling is that at some point they're probably going to both be put up together. And as much as I don't like Angela, I think she would probably fall on her sword for her daughter, given Angela's played before. That's my gut feeling, and so for all of those reasons, I'm saying pre-juror Angela. Cass, you can make the case for juror Angela.
Okay, well, first of all, if you look at where she's from, I wish I liked her because she's from my hometown, Syracuse, Utah. Not thrilled about that. So I think the reason I think that she will make jury, I just think that people are going to see her as somebody they can beat. And yes, she'll cause chaos, but I think that people will use that as a shield. I actually really hope I'm wrong because I don't want more time with her on my screen. It's just, again, she's from my hometown. I wish I liked her. That would be great. But no, I don't like her. So, if Z and Jeter are right, I will be thrilled. But I think that she's just obnoxious enough for people to want to use her as a shield. But we'll see. We'll see. That would be my logic. Is she's not winning. Woman's not winning. She's not touching that podium at all. But I think she'll make jury just based on the fact that people, because she's well known, people will be like, that's a big personality. People are going to hate her. I can use that as a shield. And it would be that would be a good strategy. That would actually be a very good strategy because nobody's going to notice you with a crazy woman running around the house. It would be a smart strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't think using chaos bombs as shields is a good strategy because sometimes you're the one holding the bomb.
That's
Like,
true.
anyway, next we have Barrett. Barrett, who is supposedly an augur. I don't, I haven't seen him, but he's apparently
That
ripping the augurs.
that's actually true. I think Jacob has actually played a game against Barrett before and voted Barrett out.
But,
So
so
that definitely tracks.
fair. I guarantee you, we have never. This is a first time occupation on Big Brother. Barrett is a jumbotron engineer, from Austin, Texas. Let's see what we
Oh,
all think.
sorry. His hometown. So he knows. Okay, yeah. Anyway, he knows.
Right,
He does. Yeah, he does know. He has connection.
but right. Interesting. We're hitting some potential big points early here. Seems like we're going to have a lot to say about Barrett. All of us think he'll make the jury at least. Cass and I just going with juror. Jeter going with finalist and being so confident he'll be a finalist that he's used his Joker. And Benji has gone with him as a winner pick. So, I mean, I'll let you three talk from your respective positions. Cass, you've got Barrett just as a juror. What do you make of him?
I mean, personally, I think that he just comes across as somebody with a lot of personality, and I don't think he's somebody who's going to be able to hide in the shadows very easily. I think he is going to make the jury because I think he seems like he's got the social prowess to do so.
Mhm.
I don't think he'll make it any further than that simply because he is, I mean, again, he described himself as giggly, charming, and spicy. The man is not going to hide. He's not going to be hidden. And generally, you need a little bit of an ability to hide in the shadows to make it all the way to the end.
Mhm.
And I don't know that he'll be, I mean, if you look at just the way he looks, like, dude, I mean, that says like, you can tell a lot about somebody's personality by the way they look. Dude's not hiding. Dude is not going to fade into the background anytime soon. And I just think that you need a little bit of that to be a finalist or to win. But that's my personal opinion.
But Jeter, as I said, you've got him as a finalist, and you're that confident that he will be either second or third place that you've jokered it. Talk me through.
So these are two separate assessments. The first thing that I did was I went through and I did my list one by one,
Mhm.
um, and chose where I thought people would place.
Mhm.
To quickly address the Joker, it's 3 points if you get a juror or a pre-juror right. It's 10 if you get a finalist. It's 20 if you get the winner. I didn't feel confident getting a winner like bang on, but I thought the odds of me getting a finalist were meaningful enough to be worth the, if I get it right, the extra 10 points as opposed to the extra 3. Because I'm trying to, an extra 3 points would be great. But an extra 10 points is really game changing.
Mhm.
So of what I chose, it's not actually a statement of confidence in Barrett as much as it's a statement of confidence in Barrett compared to the other people that I've chosen to put in certain positions. That said, Barrett knows the game, podcasts about the game, um, and I think seems to be the sort of person that, like, you look at some people and you look at what they say they want to do, and I'm like, I don't think you can win this game. Theoretically, on day one, anyone can win it, but some people have wider paths than others.
Mhm.
And he seems like the sort of person that's capable of doing mental comps, capable of doing physical comps, and capable of managing the social side of the game. And while that makes you a threat, I also think that he probably knows that. And as I didn't know he was an Orger, but I think that like all of those things lead to the chance that someone could win. I've gone finalist simply because the odds of actually getting the winner right are 1 in 20, whereas the odds of getting a finalist right is 1 in 10.
Okay.
And I'm choosing the best people that I think. It wouldn't shock me if he won, but I feel it's much more likely for me to get him as a finalist. So I'm trying to win here. And for that, I hope Barrett doesn't. But I hope he goes really, really far.
Jeter trying to utilize game theory, which has served him so
my
well.
First win. I'm switching things up. I want my first win.
Him and Michael.
Have you still not? You still haven't? I still don't understand how I've won and Jeter hasn't, because my track record on these podcasts is much worse than yours overall.
It's because there's certain episodes that I can't do that I know a lot about, but I, for personal reasons, can't participate in them.
But, all right. Well, speaking of winning, Benji, why is Barrett your winner? And is it just so that you can blow smoke up Jacob's ass for the fact he voted him out in a game if he does?
No, that's just the bonus. But in all actuality, Barrett comes quite literally all guns blazing to me. He's popping off on all the right cylinders in his bio. It comes off equally as authentic on camera, to where I do believe there's a believability in the confidence that he also has to play. Statistically, so far that we've seen out of Orgers, it's not been terrible. We've had Rizzo do a two-time fourth place on Survivor back to back. I've heard of some others as well, or who's on 51 right now. We'll see how that person does if we ever come back to that. There have been Orgers in the past and previous seasons in like the new era that have also done well. So I think orgs truly have been like that secret little underground training ground to be like, okay, let's actually go do it. And they're a little more equipped to be a little more, for the most part, sound-minded, but it's also a completely different environment playing from home compared to playing in Studio City, California. But no, as far as what Cass meant with playing a little in the shadows as well and the hideability, I also want to liken to a BB Can 5, for example, with Gary Levy, Gary Extraordinary. The human was final two, supposed to win, came back, and the only reason Gary got eliminated was because Gary hid in the shadows. But he was also a boisterous type of player that could turn it on and off. He didn't need to be the loudest person in the room. Someone just had to be louder than him. And I feel like this will also follow Barrett if he's smart enough to just look around and see the temperature of the room and then chill out for a sec and then come back. So right now he's the person that I feel like can execute what he came in to do, from bare beginnings.
I briefly cocked up the graphics there, but my fault. All right. Next up, we've got Chuck. Chuck is our cowboy hat for this season. There always seems to be one. And he has the very cowboyish job of being a supply chain analyst in Dallas, Texas. Let's see what everybody thinks is going to be happening with Chuck. Okay. We've got 2 pre-juries. We've got 1 juror. I will say from my perspective, I'm very unsure on this one, to the point where I realized that I'd done my numbers wrong and I had too many in one camp and I had too many pre-jurors and not enough jurors. So I very unconvincingly stuck Chuck in the Jura category. I like his VT was odd. I just found him odd, very odd, all odd. But I mean, Cass, pre-jury for you. Why?
Um, he seems like a really nice guy, but if you compare him to a lot of the personality, we've got some massive personalities in the house. I don't know that he's gonna. I don't know that he's gonna fit in, and that's my. But I also said that I was worried about Will. Oh, sorry, spoiler, but yeah, last season. Oh wait, no,
I watched last season. My
you
goat,
watched
Captain
last
Will.
season.
I follow him on Twitter.
Yes, no, I do too. He's amazing. I was worried about that for Will, and Will actually did fairly well. So I could definitely be wrong about Chuck, but I just don't. I don't know if he's gonna. I just don't know that he's gonna fit in. Again, we will come to somebody later on who might have the biggest, has the potential to have the biggest, one of the biggest personalities we've seen, um,
Which
on
one?
this show. Um, one guess.
Oh,
I feel
no.
like I feel like our beautiful drag queen is gonna.
I don't know. I've been enjoying Yash's content on Instagram Reels.
No, you haven't. That is factually inaccurate. If it's not factually inaccurate, I'm not sure we can be friends anymore.
Lord. The fact that I
Uh,
know none of that lore, but
yeah.
I'll catch you up later.
Right.
fair.
So next, we come to Drew. Drew is a surgical dental assistant. He's 22 from Temecula, California. I will say as a quick aside before we see how people went. A while ago, Jeeta made me watch the VTs for people from the last season of Temptation Island. I don't watch the show. However, I'm convinced that Drew is the like brother of the other anime head fuckboy that was on that show. I I can't remember his name. Maybe Jack? Was he Jack? Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. So yeah, there is a theme I've noticed that people seem to be clones of other people. So I know we'll see if that's
Yes.
we'll see if that continues.
Very
But
Gattaca inspired.
in terms of what we think will happen with Drew. Okay, so I thought for a second we finally had our first agreement because Cass, Jeter, and I have all put him down to be a juror. Benji has put him pre-jury with a note saying that he will be first boot. I feel like I have to come to Benji first. Why is Drew the first boot?
The way sorry, the way that his vibe comes off to me is very that you have to have a little bit of delusion going into the Big Brother house. That is a fair, solid statement. You have to feel like you have a chance to win to even have an attempt of going in there. To me, and the way he reads off to me from initial standing, not it's not off-putting, but it's someone I certainly wouldn't want to work with, or maybe too loud to automatically then look at, to where I'm like, oh, the too many red flags going off in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather get rid of you now than have to figure out something later. Someone had also said, not me, but I've heard that with his hair, he looks like a decom like star, like starring in a Disney Channel original movie.
I'll be
I
honest, he
specifically
looks
said
like the
Lemonade
male
Mouth
version.
too.
He looks like the male version of Allison Stoner with spiky hair.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
As I was watching the premiere of like the YouTube video a day or two ago, I'm just looking at the messages that I had with Z, and the immediate message I sent was, "This guy has a super punchable face."
Oh
So
my
I think that
god.
conveys how I feel. But he seems to have some savvy, so we'll see.
In strategical terms, I will say he kind of reminds me of like a Jace from 17. Um, like decently likable, but I feel like things are kind of going to go over his head just a touch, to where it'll either work in his favor or it completely won't, and I will be correct in my particular order.
Okay. Well, I mean, you don't get bonus points if he's first boot. I just asked for pre-jurors.
And I'm at peace with that.
uh, Cass, you've got him finishing the jury. Why?
I mean, he feels like somebody who is just cocky enough to make it to jury without having any actual real stock in the game. Like, I think he'll make enough friends to make it to jury. This man's not going on, like, just like with Angela, this man's not going on the podium. This man is not winning this game. But I think he might have enough social prowess. I would be shocked. To be honest, I could see him read it. He reads like a Tom Sandoval on Traders. Um,
Oh
and
Lord.
so like I could see him being like the second coming of Tom Sandoval on Traders. And honestly, if he is, I hope he stays for a long time because that was so funny.
If he is, we have to get to a singing competition.
Yes.
Oh.
Tom Sandoval might be one of the dumbest people I've ever seen on my TV screen. And I loved him. I mean, he made great TV because of it. And I could see this guy being very Tom
Poor Drew's
Sandoval-esque.
really getting eviscerated by the four of us.
I mean, to be fair, I did the same thing with Shaheen, and I ended up being totally wrong about. I actually love Shaheen, but like, I mean, if
I'm
you
still
look
waiting
back
for
to that
Shaheen's
episode, that's
Survivor
brutal.
album. I'm
He's
still waiting on
amazing. I love
Shaheen's
him.
Survivor album. Literally, just
Oh waka,
He's,
simi no waka.
yes.
he's amazing. Even if he got stalked by a couple of orgers at OTE.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't
Let's
do
go off the
that.
rails.
yeah.
Literally, don't do
Anyway.
that.
Anyway, but no, like I can see him being very much like that, where he can get to the jury, but like your social ability can only take you so far without the brains to back it up. And I just feel like that's this guy.
Next we come to probably the least helpful, or arguably the least functional disguise ever for a player. Because next we have the letter D, which we're pretty sure is D from Survivor.
Yeah.
So let's see how everybody thinks. Again, we can't all agree. I mean, I've got her down as juror, just on the basis that I feel like she is very good at making people comfortable. She will probably flirt with the men who want to be flirted with. Hopefully, she doesn't homewreck another relationship while she's in there, but you know, we'll see.
What did I miss? What the fuck?
It takes two to tango on that one, but
I fully takes two to tango, but I would slag Wendell off as well if he was here. But I do suspect that she will probably make the jury, but I think she's too big a threat to not get sniped at some point. The only dissenting view is Cass, who doesn't even think she'll make the jury. Cass, you've got her as a pre-juror.
This one just depends. Like I'm very on the fence with this. I think I could definitely be wrong about her, but she might be a little bit too blunt to make it super far. Like she describes herself as being really blunt, and
Mhm.
some people will love that, and some people are gonna want to punch her in the face for being like too honest. So we'll see. Like I personally will, I think I'll enjoy her, but I could be like, I don't know. We'll see.
That is fair. So then we come to Haley. Uh, Haley is a telemedicine executive from Wildwood, Missouri. Let's see what everybody's got for here. I Again, we can't all agree. Uh, Three of us saying that she's a pre-juror, and then Jeter has her down as his other finalist with Barrett. Uh, Benji, why is Haley a pre-juror?
Uh, she was someone I was also kind of borderline on. I think it comes across with one, her demeanor, and two, how she said she might receive people while she's in the house. And that's a big thing for me because people read on anything and everything in the house, and if she can't control that, it's going to do her a far bigger misservice if she can't get that face together and her face reads 5,000 words on what she wants to do in this game.
Mhm.
But I can see where her cool demeanor is more of a positive and being able to be more relaxed, hopefully, when taking information, and then
Mhm.
hopefully being able to process that accordingly to where her face or her mouth, when processing stuff, doesn't give her away.
Fair enough. I will say you started that with she was someone you were borderline with. I think you were close. She was someone I was bored with. Just yeah, possibly one of the most monotone BTs I've ever seen. However, Jeter is obviously deeply attracted to that because he's got her down as a finalist. Why?
I think from what I've seen of various reality TV shows and particularly different formats of Big Brother with 2 seasons of US and a bunch of seasons of Canada, I think that this might be the sort of season, especially if you have a bunch of like reality TV people where things get pretty feisty. I think that we might have a season with a lot of personalities where we have real sides of the house. And she was one of the few people who really seemed willing in VT to say that she was going to stand 10 toes down. Um, which when you get a house that has um like a bunch of when you get a house that's really split, obviously she might be a target a lot of the time, but she also might turn into a shield.
Mhm.
She described herself as like someone who can look a little bit physically intimidating, a little bit taller, leg sleeve, um, that sort of thing. So I just yeah, it was like once again I feel like I can't win when I do my normal zigging and zagging. So this was a little bit of a I thought I should zig, so I zagged.
Okay, fair enough. Uh, Next we come to Jason. Uh, Jason is 35, from Los Angeles, and has previously been on 2 seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race, which I do not watch, so I feel like whatever answers we've gone for, I'm gonna have to let Benji cover that bit. Uh, let's see where we've all put Jason. Okay, again, we don't have full consistent answers, but we're getting closer because everybody thinks that Jason will be on the jury. I will say specifically, I think he's going to come third. In my head, I'm envisaging Vanessa Russo. I just think I can see Jason being very good at the game, but almost like too like big a target to be taken dead at the end and sniped for third. That's my vision. But Benji, why do you just see him on the jury and you can cover the draggy stuff?
Okay, I was about to ask, do we care about Drag Race spoilers before I divulge?
No.
Okay, so Jason, also known as Selena Estides, was on season 15 of RuPaul's Drag Race, placed sixth, and then just recently was on All Stars 11, where they did not make it to the semifinals, but they were on episodes 4 to 6. Incredible drag artist. I believe All Stars 11 was definitely the way that's broken down now is that all the queens that are competing are in brackets. So they have a bit of a social strategic way to get points socially or on top of what they're doing talent wise in order to advance. And that's the way that Jason was playing the game on Drag Race. I believe if any of that translates to how he'll play Big Brother in and out of like Selena Estidesness, Jason has a very fair shot. Where I think we might run into a little trouble is that, yes, Selena is very loud, but maybe Jason will know how to be a little more demure and pull it back a little bit. You know, it could come out, but you're here to win $750,000. Um, And I do agree. I'm not sure how close to Vanessa Russo we're going to get in full comparison, but I do agree Jason will be a big threat to take to the end and then snipe at the end because um no one's going to want to take them to the end. Or depending on how social and boisterous they are, maybe their mouth might accidentally get them into a little trouble if they slip up here or there, and how detrimental that is. Fucking rooting for them. But I think that's the one thing that's keeping me from being like, you were this close to me in my winner pick. And then I like think maybe that 1% might have done me in, but like certainly rooting for Jason.
Fair. Next, we come to Camus. So Camus is 32, MMA fighter from Phoenix. The we've got him. God damn it, Benji! It's happened again. I mean, Cass. As you know, I'm going to come Jeter on this one. Jeter, you've got him down as a juror, but we discussed Camus a bit earlier, so I figured I'd come to you.
Yeah. I went back and forth on this one because I actually found his interview approachable and I was curious. And then Twitter realized that he leans a certain way politically, which I suppose should not be surprising given he's a former UFC fighter. But his social media follows are out there even for I think
Yeah.
my worry is that even though he comes off as this chill guy, I just think that he might be the sort of person who ruffles feathers. These sorts of shows tend to lean more now than before towards a little bit more of a liberal crowd in terms of who's playing in the games. And while there frequently are dude bros in the house, I think that on the whole, the vibe of the house tends to not be a place where that happens. I'm curious to see how it goes. I didn't want to go pre-jury. I think that there's a chance that he gets targeted for being a former UFC fighter and being built, and strong people tend to get targeted early. That said, I think that he'll probably have the wherewithal to get himself through to the jury, but I don't think a finale is going to happen unless his views of the world are not how they see him online, or if he's able to really keep them bottled up in this house, which is a very hard thing to do.
Fair enough.
I think him hanging out with a drag queen will be excellent TV.
Hey, I was gonna say he's literally gone in there with a drag queen, and if there's anything that's gonna piss off a conservative, it's a drag queen.
And if we remember correctly, Jason has brought Miss S titties into the house via a suitcase.
Yeah.
So if it's anything in the similarity of when we saw like a Courtney act, this is going to be fucking interesting.
I do feel bad for I will say I feel bad for Jason because Jason is going to be taking one for the team if that's the case. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. But also I think Jason can like if I'm not wrong, Jason can handle it. But like I mean but I like yeah, like there's not a whole lot that would piss off somebody who is very, very conservative than a drag queen. So, which I'm like, honestly, like, if that happens, like, Jason, kick his trash. Like, get, like, if it's you or him, like, you know, like, fight the MMA fighter and beat him. Like, it's great.
Read him.
Yeah.
Down.
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough. Let's move on to Latrice, I think. Latrice is one of our older contestants for BB28. She is a boutique salesperson from Maplewood, New Jersey. She is 57. Let's see what we've all predicted. Interesting. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Well, we have all got her on the jury at least. I mean, let's start with Benji for the case for just jurydom.
I think Latrice has a very fun, like very hype, attracting type of personality. She has some like back history with the music industry, both herself and I think she said, who did she say her uncle was again?
Cool from Cool in the Game.
There we go. Yes, from Cool and the Gang. So I feel like she has maybe an awareness on how to compose herself in certain situations. People, I think, will be gravitating toward her energy. She's very infectious. But it also looks like there's a little more under the hood than what meets the eye, but at least not at face value. You really have to look at her and be like, oh, so this is how you're playing. And it like clears perfectly. I think she will be one of those like nicely strategic under the radar people that will definitely be a force to be reckoned with, without having too many eyes on her until maybe later in the game where people feel in the same sense of some of the other people that we have that they have to pull the trigger or they're not winning.
I have got Latrice as one of my finalists. I have her as second place. I would have loved to put her as my winner pick because she seems on paper super cool. I may regret saying that if she turns out to be some weird middle-aged psycho, but I think she seems very cool. But my prediction is that she basically probably won't be great in comps. I don't necessarily see her winning a great deal. And I think maybe at a certain point in the game, people just think that she's worth keeping around as somebody to beat. I suspect she'll be popular enough to keep her safe in that regard. But yeah, I just maybe see her making the end, but not having the case to pitch as to why she should win. Cass, however, thinks she is going to win. Why?
Part of it is, and I've done this on many episodes, I'm kind of manifesting this. She's the kind of person that I think is rare on reality TV. She is somebody who is middle-aged. You know, she is probably not going to excel at comps. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that people, because of that, I think people are going to underestimate her. And I think that she seems like the kind of person just that like Benji said, like people are going to gravitate towards her. And like I think she's got enough like sass that she will be able to hold her own in a younger house. But she also has enough like she seems young at heart. So I think that is I actually see her fitting in better than your average middle-aged contestant with these younger players. So I think people are going to underestimate her, and I think she's going to get to the end and really be able to articulate like why she deserves to win. Um, so that's my biggest thing. I think she's really going to get to the end based on the fact that she is a middle-aged woman who is not great at comps. People are not going to take her as seriously as they should, and I can see her winning just based on that. Now, like I could very easily be wrong. I'm manifesting. I really want her to win. Like, I honestly think that she just seems like somebody who, I mean, she just, you don't get a lot of winners like her. And that I'm trying to manifest it. So
Okay. Well,
we'll see.
we will point out that your manifestation, to the best of my memory, has never worked on one of these
Never
episodes.
worked.
So
It's going, you shoot enough times, you're bound to hit something, right?
yeah, but at that point, I'm not sure it's successful manifestation. I think it's just the law of averages, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, I'm not counting on the manifestation working. I'm counting on the law of averages working. I don't have any more faith in my ability to manifest than you do.
Fair enough. Next we come to Lyric. First of all, Lyric is not a name. It's just not a name. Lyric is an attorney from Honolulu, Hawaii. She has been on American Idol. She is also the daughter of terrible 80s artist Glenn Medeiros. So let's see what we've all predicted for Lyric. At least we would if my mouse would behave. There we go. Oh, we're all over the shop with this one. I mean, Jita and I have gone pre-juror. We'll start there. Jita, why is she a pre-juror?
On one hand, I did need to fill out a couple pre-jurors. Second, I just wasn't super enthused with the interview. And I don't know. I think when I think of the when I think of like one of the things that potentially gets you targeted, it's education. She's an attorney. Obviously, she said that she's not planning on going in as an attorney. But like you can tell when somebody is smart.
Mm-hmm.
You have to really try to hide your intellect. And I think that a young, conventionally attractive, smart woman is about as likely to get targeted as someone who walks into the house as a man who looks like Keanu. It's pretty likely. And I just think that, if you're thinking about the sorts of people who are getting targeted, if it's not the men in the house who are, big and bulky, it's gonna be the smart, conniving women, and I think that she falls into that category.
Fair
And
enough.
I think that she might be less capable of hiding that than other people of that genre in the house.
Makes sense. I mean, I only put her as a preacher because I found her kind of annoying. Cass, you've got Lyric as a jury. Why?
Yes. I mean, I think that she's smart enough to make it to the jury. I think I agree that her intelligence and the fact that she is very pretty. I think I personally I think that there are other factors that are going to carry her to the jury, but I think that those are the same factors that are going to get her targeted once she gets there. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Then Benji, you have Lyric as somebody who'll be there on the final night. Why?
I think for some of the things that she is being pro/conned about, we also kind of have to look into her sociability to where, like, she said, I don't have the biggest RBF in the world. I feel like where Barrett probably doesn't have that wherewithal to hide as much, I feel like Lyric could hide far easier. And with that strategic mindset to be able to maneuver and also, like, kind of shapeshift, but also give out that natural charismatic energy, I feel like a lot of people are going to underestimate her, which is fantastic for her. Someone who's been in a similar mindset. Before I say this, do we care about BB Can spoilers? Have we watched? Are we going to watch?
One
One
through
to six is fine.
Okay, so I'm going to reference 6, if that's okay.
That's fine.
And I think I know. I think if I say 6, you know where I'm going with this. Paris, very similar mindset of being very well connected with everybody in the house. She didn't get nominated till final fucking 5. Won the comps she needed and won the game because her game was just that fucking superior. Lyric has the natural wherewithal and capability to mimic that same performance. She will have more people to go through, but I think if there's ever a mirror to what her potential could be, it's pretty strong with the example that has been given.
Fair enough. Next we come on to L. L is the biggest mystery of all because it's actually managed to be kept pretty quiet. As I said, the best suggestion I've seen is that it might be Angela's daughter Lexi, but that was just speculation by a few people. So I'm not going to spend too much time on L. Let's just find out where we've arbitrarily put L. Oh, there we go. We've all agreed that L is going to be a pre-juror, so perfect time to just rattle that one off quickly.
I'm personally just hoping that the L is the hidden letter in between Coach and Wade.
Oh God.
This isn't a haiku.
Next we come to Mallory. Mallory, who appears to be the love child of Kelly from last season and Eva from Survivor 48. Just,
Yes.
just a weird mix of the
Uncanny.
two. It is uncanny.
Someone in the
Yeah.
Brovio comments said that someone was reheating Kelly's or that she was reheating Kelly's nachos.
But
Yes.
but yeah, she's 24. She's a rocket scientist. And she's from the Washington Township of New Jersey. Let's see where we all have Mallory. Interesting. Okay. Again, we're all over the shop. Benji, make the case for pre-jury.
In the way that you were bored with another human being, I was bored with this human being.
Okay.
Just a little more on the monotone side, but not everyone has to be the most boisterous person in the room. I think just with the demeanor she currently has, although it's even keel and that might work out for her, people may not catch up to her unless she like warms up really quickly, and then because I'm sure she's not going to tell everybody she's a fucking rocket scientist. She's probably going to go in there and bullshit her occupation, which fair as shit. But I feel like if she either doesn't warm up quickly in a game that is very fast paced and people are going to be very compelling and telling with the cast that we have, she may just get washed out really quickly. Or she might be able to hide, but I don't think she'll be able to hide for long if she doesn't connect at the right time.
That's fair. Then Cass and I have both said she'll make the jury. Cass, make the case for juror. Mallory?
I mean, again, I just feel like she is Kelly 2.0. Like, although I think it'll be interesting to see how she differs because looks wise, it freaked me out a little bit when I saw her because I was like, is that Kelly playing again? And then I was like, oh no, that's not Kelly. And I personally loved Kelly, so like, I don't know, it's gonna be interesting to see how her intelligence translates into this game. I think she has the potential. I think she can make jury. I'm not sure if she'll be able to get beyond that, but I think she can make jury.
Very fair. And then Jeeta, you have gone for Mallory as your winner.
First, I have a well-documented love affair on this show of standing rocket scientists. Shout out my goat, Steven.
Right.
Setting that aside, I think casting is doing her a disservice. My Twitter feed over the last 24 hours has just become polluted with Big Brother content. And one of the things that I've seen a lot of is that they are casting her as Kelly 2.0 and like showing her that way. But it seems that that is not the only side of her personality. She's like a former sorority girl, who like has a very different side of her that like I guess is like very public on her Instagram and just nobody knew this because they decided to cast her as like the quirky rocket scientist. Um I was already thinking finalist. And then as I saw like this was one of the changes that I kind of made later on today. Was just seeing the amount of content that I've seen. Like I'm gonna be rooting for her. Based on what I see right now. Obviously my opinions change day to day and week to week.
Mhm.
But I think you've got someone who really knows the game, who's really freaking smart, and who also has social chops. And for all of the same reasons that I said that that makes you a threat, that's also what you need to win. And so I think looking at it from that perspective, I think that she has a really good chance. Especially in a season that potentially has some big threats with, you know, reality royalty. You can skate a little bit if you're a big personality when, you know, you have the equivalent of Angela or Dee or, you know, other people who are well known hanging around.
Okay, well, next we move on. We've had the lyric. Now we come to the melody. That's Melody is a corporate game show host. I still don't entirely understand what that means, but sure.
I feel like it kind of leans into kind of like the Ascendance Live of it all, where like they used to be games for like events for like corporate and like office people to go and like team build, if you will. So maybe that's the
Okay,
route we're going at.
got it. That makes sense. Well, yeah, she's 24 from Maricopa, Arizona. Let's see what we've said. Um, okay, we've got a mix. Yeah, okay. I'm starting to think that I might have accidentally set one of my jurors to be a pre-juror. 'Cause I've got a lot of jurors, and there's been a couple I've looked at and gone, huh? But we'll see. We've got two pre-jurors, two jurors. Once again on the screen, it's showing us Cass and Benji agreeing and Jeter and I agreeing. Cass, make the pre-jury case.
I think she's just got a very, very big, bubbly personality, and I think that she's somebody who's not gonna want to fly under the radar, and I think that that's gonna get her targeted early on. Um, we'll see. I could definitely be wrong about that, but I feel like she just has such a big personality. I think people might find her annoying, so we'll see. And also she describes herself as being very sensitive, which, ooh, that's not good. Going into the Big Brother house, you gotta have a thick skin because that, I mean, you're gonna be with these people for, potentially like 3 months. Like you gotta have a thick skin, and if she's sensitive, like I could see her going off on somebody because somebody said looks at her the wrong way and tanking her game right out the door. So we'll see.
Yeah. On my end, I've got a kind of. I can't say I can't say I particularly warmed to her from the introduction. I don't know what it was. Just something. I didn't feel any sincerity. It was very paint by numbers for me. But I might be wrong. So next, interesting that Melody and Rome were together, given that they appear to be clones of Riley and Catherine from last season. We saw how that particular duo went down, so we'll see if version 2 goes any better. Let's see how we've all predicted Rome. Okay, I now understand what Jeter changed earlier. So we've got three pre-jurors, including Jeter putting Rome down as a first boot, and Cass has gone juror. I mean, I suppose to make the case for pre-jury, I have to go to Jeter if you're going to say first boot.
First off, professional pickleball coach is not a profession. Let's just be really clear here. I'm very happy that he's doing that with his life. As someone who has spent a lot of time coaching sports, we got to do better than this. I mean, like I suppose it's slightly better than just saying unemployed, like Vince did last season. But like the bar's in hell.
Okay, no, can I say what's funny about you saying this? This is literally what my brother-in-law does.
I'm so sorry.
No, he would laugh.
And stage left.
He'd laugh so hard at you saying that because he literally but the irony is that is something he tried to do. He tried very hard to do it. And he found out that it is in fact not possible for him to make a living as a pickleball coach. But like that's serious. Like he still does it. He still does it. He just can't make a living doing it.
I think Rome, first off, he looks way too much like Miles Teller. But I think in everything that I've seen, like the dude bros get targeted very frequently early, unless they win a first HOH. And even then, sometimes they get targeted because dude bros get sensitive about having other dude bros in the house. And if anybody screams dude bro, it's him. Like of all of the people in the house, he is like the one. And so I have to think that, like, obviously you don't need to like pre-juror first boot, whatever. I'd be very surprised if he's not on the block at some point first week, just because he's the sort of person that you target. And if he's not at some point, week 2 or week 3 or week 4, someone's going to target him because he's there and he's big, and he's probably like a lot of those people get frustrating to live with in this house historically over time. He might actually break that trend, and it's going to be one of the other very strong men that are in this house. He just seemed like the one that was most likely to have that happen to him early. but him along with, I'm fading all of them across my list.
But that makes sense. I mean, Cass, I have to come to you as the only person to put him down as a juror.
I mean, okay, first of all, I have to agree. The first thing I thought when I saw him is like this dude is the kind of guy who is gonna have a bromance and a showmance. Like he's that kind of guy, right? I mean, again, who voluntarily puts down when they're asked about their career that he is a professional pickleball coach? Like he's saying that like it's something to be proud of, and everybody hearing that is going loser, but like trying not to, because like again, and I say this, my brother-in-law tried to do that. He would not say that that's what he does for a living on something like this. Actually, he might. That makes me really sad, but he probably might. I'm sorry,
Listen,
Ben.
we've had Big Brother people say that they were one thing and then say that they were studying marine biology and didn't do a lick of studying beforehand to make sure that the lie kept. So that's kind of that's pretty tame.
It is
I
pretty
also,
cheap, but
sorry, I have one other thing. If we're talking professions that I wanted to mention about Melody, I was so amused by the fact that she was really horrified at the idea of telling people that she's a corporate game show host and she's going to lie about it. Like, I get that there's some professions that you might feel like you want to lie about, but like, what?
that one.
I mean, I see the semi logic of like I'm going on a reality game show. Why am I gonna tell somebody I'm a corporate game show host? They're probably gonna think that like, oh, she's probably gonna understand the wherewithal and the back end of it
See,
far
I
more than
hear that,
everybody
and I
else.
see
Snipe her.
the price is right. That's what I'm thinking when I hear corporate game show host. I'm not thinking like,
She said
yeah,
Melody is Vanna White girl. Like
yeah, like that's what I mean. She's even got the bleach there. Come on, like no,
Oh,
no. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that this guy, I think he'll make it to the jury because I think that he is going to get a little bit insulated by his athletic ability.
mhm.
However, again, I do think that the bro thing is going to bite him in the butt because invariably it does. I mean, the only thing that would be worse is if he turned out to be like a guy who seems broy but is actually like a whiny man baby like Vince was. So, we'll see. But like, I think he's gonna have a bromance and a showmance, and I think that that's gonna insulate him just enough to get him to jury.
Fair enough. Next, we come to R. R, we are pretty sure is Rick Devons. So, without
oh.
going into too many details about Rick's
Yeah,
performances on Survivor, let's see what we've
So
all gone
nothing
for.
on his performance, but ET or Entertainment Weekly did release that and confirm for us that it is Devon's.
Okay,
And that
fair.
was in an article as of yesterday.
Fair. So all of us have him making the jury. I guess. I mean, on my end, I'll. I think Devons will be very popular with some people because Devons is always popular with some people. But the fact that Devons is always popular with some people makes it very difficult, in my mind, for Devons to make the end of any game. Uh, he's just always too much of a big personality to snipe at. So that's my feeling on jurors. Cass and Benji have both got him in the final, but not winning though.
I can
Benji,
definitely, if you guys want to talk no holds barred, and then just someone give me a wave when we're done.
All right,
Yeah,
fair enough.
I'll go get water.
Okay. Benji, why is Devon's finishing as
Okay,
a
now
runner?
that the earmuffs are off, I think that Devon's unpredictability from both of his seasons make him an incredibly chaotic player, and I want to see that in a more insulated form where it's a bit more
yeah,
structured and not everything can bounce off to where he has to play ping pong with 5,000 other boards at one time to flip a coin to win $2 million. But I think what both Devins and D are going to struggle with is that they both have their survivor history coming into the house with them.
yeah,
Whether that's from a fan perspective, whether that's from them because they both competed together in that one
yeah,
particular season. Will it actually be an underlying force to which they are going to gun for each other, or are they going to like simmer it at first and then utilize the fact that, oh, these moves are being done and I know that he does X, Y, and Z, or she does X, Y, and Z, or X, Y, and Z, um, and snipe each other? Are they going to find them each other useful for now or useful long term? So I feel like that's going to be a big storyline brought into the beginnings of those aired episodes. Um, but I'm one of those people that definitely feels like Devins is just super unpredictable, and that's why he's likable. That's why he's so charismatic both on and off camera. But if we have any other Survivor fans and they're like, he's gonna be fucked
yeah,
walking in.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
fair.
there's definitely Survivor fans because I mean, reality TV people tend to watch lots of reality TV.
That's
Very
fair.
random. Selena Estides, aka Jason, didn't make it onto Survivor, but they have auditioned for Survivor multiple
Yeah,
times. So I'm sure Miss
yeah.
Selena Estides is going to point those two out very quickly.
Oh no, I think I think that Selena is gonna. I think I want to see those two in an alliance personally.
I
Um,
mean, it may well happen.
I think it could. So
Someone wave at Jeter, please. There we go. He's
yeah,
back in the room.
did we
Uh,
wave it up?
Yeah, that
I
was
had to
perfect.
look like that thing out of a fucking car dealership.
yeah.
It's one of my go-to dance moves.
I love that.
Right. Let's move on to Taylor. Taylor is a school counselor from Deerfield Beach, Florida. Let's see what we all went for. Okay, again, I thought three people agree. Benji, Gisa, and I all saying that Taylor will be a pre-juror. I mean, from my point of view, I'll be honest. I found her incredibly annoying, and she also reminded me of the winner of last season, Ashley, who I also found very annoying. Um, and the thing was, like, I realize it might seem weird to have seen someone thought she reminds you of a winner and then put her as a pre-juror, but Ashley should have been a pre-juror. Like, I, I don't understand how she came so close to being gotten rid of so many times, and then people just kind of moved on from her, feeling she wasn't a threat, and then at the end took Vince because, like, frankly, anyone could have beaten Vince at the end. Like, literally anybody. I feel like the reincarnation of Mussolini could have beaten Vince in a final two last season. Um, so yeah, not a Taylor fan from her VT. Maybe like, look, every season there are people I think I'm gonna hate that I don't, and people I think I'm gonna love that friggin' suck. So maybe Taylor wins me around, but of first impressions, I found her super annoying. The dissenting view, though, comes from Cass, who has not only put her down as a finalist, but has also played her Joker on Taylor. So why is Taylor in your mind a guaranteed finalist?
I think that she's somebody who is going to she is going to be able to navigate the social ability. She's a school counselor. To me, that indicates a lot of emotional intelligence because she's literally helping kids with their emotional intelligence. She's dealing with conflict on a regular basis. People are being brought into her office because you know, I mean, I have a lot of experience with school counselors, given that my daughter has been referred to a few. Uh, so, like, their ability to like dispel conflict is pretty insane. And I mean, the fact that she works as a school counselor in Florida, that which is not a great place to be in education. Like I really think that she's got to have a bone of steel. So I think that I think that I think she'll be able to read the room fairly well. So we'll see. I think she'll be able to, but I think she'll be able to fly under the radar. And I feel like everybody comes across a little annoying in an interview. I definitely feel like I could definitely see people going, girl never shuts up. Like, you know, not my cup of tea. Like I could, but I think that what people are like on a day-to-day basis is very different. And I really think that she's somebody that people are gonna love. So
I mean, fair. Although if in a VT people thought you were annoying and wouldn't shut up, that is an accurate portrayal.
that no.
Like,
We got one.
hey, right. And our final player before we move on to some random shit is our late replacement, who wasn't supposed to be there, but some other bloke pulled out. Is Yash. Let's see what everybody thinks. And again, we're split. And again, we're split down the lines of Jisra and I agreeing, and Cass and Benji agreeing.
I think the reason why we're split this way this time is only half of this call has seen his TikTok.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean,
Wait,
go
I
on.
need
The
to
less said,
tell
the
you
better.
tell.
Yeah, Jita, you cover yeah.
Here's the thing. Setting aside the other issues, last minute addition and like pretty like bluntly said that he knows very little about the show. I think I mean financial analyst young might have some personality, might be able to pick up some of the reality show chops early. But I don't think that this is someone who's like particularly serious about the game. And also like I think that having someone who is fun and unserious is perhaps what this cast needs. But I also don't know that that necessarily feels like it's going to fit in with the group of people that we have, and that we might have a situation where if you're thinking about people who are outcast in some way, shape, or form, people who don't really fit in, and people who might struggle to make connections, one of those things may be like having a difference in personality like that that could lead to you getting on a block and not really having people willing to save you.
Fair enough. And then Benji, you make the case for Yash as a juror.
I think my analysis of the financial analyst is due to the fact that I see this potential borderline of pre-jury and jury with quite a few of the dude bros if they decide to dude bro together. In the sense that with Yash also having very little knowledge of the game, people might either have him sheeped or be like, oh, this person doesn't know much about the game. They're more malleable to me, therefore they kind of become a number or a floating asset until he can't be taken anymore because it would mean that it would take a spot away from them. He I think was someone I flipped into jury last minute. So I was like, okay, I'll just take a gander here. But after hearing that, I feel like a lot of this is going to have to be off of what he learns on the fly. Maybe he'll be malleable in that sense as well. It's like, oh, I don't have a lot to go off of, but that means I can focus on the game that's in front of me now instead of looking at the history books and then trying to adapt to what's on the history book pages.
That's
So like there's an open interpretation. I kind of lean toward the latter of being pulled.
okay. I will say, as it's your first episode, I'll be generous. You didn't actually put a Joker down on this sheet. I don't know if you did on the other. Is there a
I
particular?
don't think so.
Okay. Is there a prediction on this sheet that you are that confident about that you want to place your Joker and get double points if it's correct?
I'll put it on Jason.
I'm gonna put it on.
I feel like we've seen enough of Jason in one sphere and a little in that one sphere to see how that would translate over. There are a lot of big personalities to where I think you see what you get with Jason. Therefore, people will go because at least you can see the devil that you do compared to the devil that you don't.
It's fair. Right, let's move across to the miscellaneous. Before we do, I will say this one is running a little while, and because we started late, I'm a little concerned. So I think within reason, I'm going to try and rattle through these until the bonuses, just to try and bring our time down a bit. Like I'll if I go to you, try and keep your responses down to a sentence or two, just because most of them are very self-explanatory. Right, we've jumped across. Let's see what people think. First of all, block party. You're going to get points for every time your player appears at the block. Let's see. Interesting. Cass and I in agreement on Mallory. I think, from my point of view, I was just going, looks like Kelly, going to perform like Kelly. Lots of block. Cass in agreement. Jita, Camu.
I tried to pick a physical threat who might be able to win a POV if they're nominated, or someone who might also be a threat at an HOH, but also was gonna try to pick someone who basically was gonna kind of be a comp threat, which would also mean that they'd be up on the block, but they might not necessarily be going home. You're trying to guess who the pawn is, and I thought it might be Camu.
Okay. And Benji, you're taking a big punt and saying it's going to be Lexi when we don't even know for sure that Lexi is going to be in the house.
Did I say Lexi for Comp Beast?
No, for block party.
Oh, for block. Oh, yeah. I feel like part of that is just due to Angela association. So if she's going to be great for Angela, they're not going to want them there. So she'll probably be put on the block with her mother or in a separation of the two to see that one of them goes home, or that maybe Angela is also inclined that, like, I love my daughter, but this is my second chance. This is not my daughter's second chance. I came to play for myself, not for my daughter. As much as I would love to see that whole fall on the sword story arc, I think it does Angela a disservice to go back to then want to give it up for her daughter.
Fair enough.
I don't think that'll happen.
Either way, it's a big punt when we're not 100% sure it is Lexi in the house, but I respect it. Next we come to Comp Beast. You get points for every comp your person wins. I have gone Camu. I just feel like he feels like the most obvious physical person. Like, there are some people who look like they're going to be fit and strong or whatever, and it's just, they work on one area of their body at the gym, and it's sort of, they turn out to be useless at comps. I have to assume that Camu is genuinely a physical specimen and will take out some comps. I haven't gone to juries, so Cass, you've gone for Rome. Similar logic to mine, just a different person.
Yeah, and I also think he's somebody who's going to hit the block a lot, so he's going to have a lot of opportunities to win comps.
Okay,
So
that's fair. And then Jeter and Benji have both gone for D. I'm going to let Jeter comment on D just because it means that there's definitely no spoilering.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen 45. I didn't actually finish 45, but I know the ending of 45. And I saw up to the what was it? What the hell's the thing that you call it? Your 1 in 6.
What are
What the
you
hell's
on
the thing
about?
that the shot in the dark?
Oh,
Oh,
right.
that's
Yeah.
1 in 7, I think.
Whatever.
The Caleb.
That's when I stopped the season. Yes. Regardless,
Mm.
I've seen enough of the season to know that D is a beast. If D is who we think D is. And I also, my thought, similar to what you said with Roman Camus, is I'm trying to pick someone who might, like what you said, Cass, I'm trying to pick someone who might be on the block. If this is D, D's going to be a threat that gets blocked and is the sort of person who might win a veto or two to save themselves, which gets you points. And for that reason, I also figured in terms of throwing your Joker, this one has the most upside if you get someone who's a comp beast.
Fair. I hadn't processed that this was your Joker, so yeah, I respect it. I will say, try and do as quickly as possible, that I have one theory, which is that D, the person, isn't actually going in, that they've pulled a fast one, that D stands for Devons, and Devons is the D, and then the R is going to be Rob Roush, because everybody was saying that they thought he was in Sequester before. I don't actually believe that, but like, I would love it if it were true. Next, we've got showmance. So this is if there is a showmance in the house, who do we think is one of the people going to be involved in it?
Glad to know Benji's also on the same side of Twitter.
I'm not. I did fuck shit. So.
Oh, that's.
I said those look stupid. That won't happen.
Fine. I mean, I went for Drew because he was basically saying that he'd be happy to not win and leave with a girlfriend. So I feel like I don't know why women would want to date him, but I have to assume that someone might. Cass, you've gone Rome and Lyric. You've been very specific. Any reason?
they both were open to a showmance, and they are the kind of pretty people that tend to end up in showmances.
But
Felt like it tracked.
GT, you've named Haley.
Yeah, I figured my odds were higher trying to pick a girl because it felt like all of the dude bros would be open to a showmance. So I tried to pick someone whom I thought might be attracted to any one of the litany that we have on this season. And Haley as a Missourian felt most likely.
I'm Benji, Jason and Cameron, you've gone for the
In drag or not in drag?
Yes.
I feel like
You want to be so right, Benji. Please.
I
If
feel
I'm right.
I feel like with Camu following a load of like alt-right pages, if this does happen, then it's very much a case of like the call was coming from inside the room.
House. Yes. Very, very inside the house.
I am begging for this to be true.
I mean,
Please.
I'm gonna quickly consult. I mean, this partially because it's Benji's first episode, but partially just because we do this very occasionally. But because it's not a bonus, I'm going to consult with Cass and Jita. Do we think that Jason and Camus being a showmance is amusing and ridiculous enough? That we're prepared to say that if it happens, Benji just wins the show by default.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
free Joker, and he can give a Joker to anything else that he wants.
Okay.
No, I say he wins
Because
because
that would
honestly,
be. I mean,
this
10
is
points is. I'm
no.
willing to
I
give a
think
triple Joker.
I
I'm not
think he
willing to give more than
wins.
15.
I think he wins personally, just because I do think that this is so freaking unlikely that if he predicts this and it happens, he deserves it. Like Benji deserves the win, and I'm praying he wins. Like I would be willing to lose for this scenario to come true. So, I think he deserves the win because I don't think it's happening. I ain't a chance, but it would be so good if it did.
I feel like that Jeter's just so terrified he might finally win an episode that he's not willing to give any chance that he might win and not win.
No, it's also just like with these people, like at a certain point, are you compensating? Like it would be less shocking than I think maybe we'd give it credit for. It would be shocking. But like
It's the kind of thing
I
he
don't
ain't
know.
gonna do it on live TV though. That's the problem. Is like what I think is more likely is that Jason is gonna be very, very annoyed by Kamu and is gonna oust him. That's why I say I'm good with giving Benji the win if this does happen, because honestly, first of all, great TV if it does. Second of all, I don't think there's a chance in hell where this is happening. Like it's not
I'm willing to
happening,
give
but
the
oh, I
win,
want it.
but I want to be clear that this is like showmance and not like one-off manufactured by Big Brother, like you two have to go hang out for an hour.
No.
No,
It has
no,
to be
no.
to occur.
That's fair.
no. It has to be real showman.
Yes, has to be a proper showmance. I won't even count it if that they sort of have, I don't know, one
Flirt.
late night weird snog. Like it has to be a semi enduring showmance for it to happen. But
I'm in.
Oh,
okay.
I'm keeping my mouth. No, okay.
Okay.
I've been watching too much Love Island, so when you saw, okay, my
Right.
keeping it in.
Next we come to Walkers. Is anybody going to walk from the show? We've all gone no. I don't think we need to talk about that too much. Ejections. Is anybody going to get like booted from the show for doing something naughty? We've all gone no. See, these tend to like somebody occasionally takes a risk on one. This is usually me always predicting that somebody will get medevaced in Survivor, and it has a surprising history of actually coming off for me. Battleback. Will there be a battleback in this season? Again, it's a yes or no. We've all gone no. I did feel like somebody would take a punt on that one, but if nobody did,
I had to look it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the cast is big enough that they probably won't need one, but that doesn't always apply. Will we see a tied vote? So basically, any vote where that has to be broken by the HOH. Okay, we've got some variability. Cass and Benji have gone no. Benji, why are you saying no?
I'm sorry, to what exactly? Refresh my memory.
Tied vote. You don't think there will be a tied vote this season?
I feel like with how the modern era has played, everyone's a little too nervous for a tie, to where they want concrete stability in the game, to where I don't think we've seen a tie as frequently as maybe like the earlier end games, because people weren't afraid to make that move. Now with so many variables, I think it's harder to really grasp that unless you certainly feel like you have something locked in. So that's why I say no.
Okay. I went for yes on the basis that my guess is like final uh, four. I'm just kind of guessing that maybe people go, let's make them make the decision because it will look bad or something. Zingbot. Will Zingbot be back? Because if we remember, the Mastermind destroyed Zingbot during last season. So is Zingbot dead or will Zingbot return? We've all got Zingbot coming back from the dead. Now we've got special guest. So this is somebody not playing the game who comes into the house. They must come into the house. This is not somebody on Unlocked or similar. To do something. Can be a past player, can be a celebrity. It has to be somebody who goes in the house as a guest. Interesting. Oh, I just realised I was meant to joke on mine, and for some reason it happened. So I've gone for Keanu because I think Keanu makes the most sense from last season, as is game dungeon master thing. Just hosting a comp feels like ridiculously on brand. Cassie, you've also joked yours. You've gone for Survivor Sandra. Any particular reason?
Because if there's two Survivor players, there is no way that they are not gonna bring Survivor royalty on to host a comp. Like with there being at least two Survivor players in the house, like
That's fair.
yeah, not a chance. And if you're looking for Survivor royalty, like
Yeah,
she is the Survivor royalty.
that's fair. Cheetah, you've gone for Vinny the Lip.
What else is he going to be doing this summer?
Incredible. I love it. And then Benji, you've put two names. As you've put two names, I'll give you like half the points if either of them appear, because you're hedging your bets a bit here. What I am interested by is you've gone for Davon Rogers. Makes absolute sense. You've also gone for, as you've written it, Ika Mwanog.
Wong.
I know who you mean, but you've put Ika.
That's what I've written because I typed fast, yes.
MWNOG. Ika Mwanog.
Aika, if you see this, I love you. I hope to meet you one day. I swear to God. That's just like I wish it could happen. Will it happen? No. I think we would see more of a Davon than we would an Aika. But I would love to see Aika. If I see Aika on my US TV screen, I will fall the fuck out.
That's
Big
fair.
Brother Canada's coming back.
Yeah.
Yes! And with live feeds, thank God.
But not with Arissa. So does it really count?
It still counts.
We'll see. I'm nervous, but we'll I'm sure we'll do an episode on that when it's back. Right, time for the chaos of the bonuses. Let's see. Also Benji, you again didn't joker anything on this sheet. You can't joker your bonus. Is there any particular one of these that you want to joker?
The second one, I guess. Or well, any one of my guesses.
Comp Beast? What is the second
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, I'll do Comp Beast.
Okay, cool. Right. Yes. Anyway, now actually, bonuses. See what everybody's gone for. We'll start with Benji's because Benji does need to dash. This has taken longer than we thought. Benji has gone for something very similar to Jita. Benji has said there will be no unanimous votes. I think across the entire season, I mean, technically, I could say that that's a physical impossibility because final three is always going to be a unanimous vote. But let's take final three out of it to make it a bit fairer. I think this is very, very, very unlikely, just because I think towards the end of the game you're bound to have 3-0 or something when there's fewer people. Which means I'd be willing to offer big points, possibly.
Yeah, I have some stats on this. Ignoring the late game stuff, out of the last 4 seasons, only one season had no, because I researched this for my bonus, only one season had no unanimous vote, even prior to jury. The only one that didn't have any unanimous votes pre-jury was 26. Out of 27, 26, 25, and 24. And 25 started with 4 straight. So I think it's unlikely, even just early on.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was sticking my neck out there with no unanimous pre-jury. I'd be willing to go pretty big points here.
Yeah. So my logic is always a 50-50. I double, I triple around at like about a 25% chance. I think when you're getting down to like 5% chance, I'm kind of going quadruple, and then things that could happen but very, 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 very unlikely are 5 times, and then occasionally I let somebody win the show if they get it right. I think this probably comes down to like a 4 times. I don't think it's completely impossible.
Yeah.
Do we want to try and skew it so that Benji wages higher or lower?
Don't care.
Don't care. Just do flat either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Then Benji, you can either wager 5 and get potential 20 back, or you can wager 7 and get a potential 28 back. Which would you prefer?
Go big or go home. I'll do the 28.
Okay, cool. Benji, been lovely to have you. I know we've kept you too long already. I will speak to you soon, and I'm sure we'll have you back on this.
Of course. Lovely to be here. Bye, guys.
Okay, we've sorted the cameras out. We've replaced Benji with a Big Brother logo. Because why not? Let's go to. I mean, let's go to Jeter's next. Because I feel that's the obvious place to go, having just discussed Benji's. Obviously, Benji's is a 4 times. Because we think it's very unlikely. Obviously, Jeter's becomes more likely on the basis of being pre-jury. As I said, I tend to triple for about a 25% chance. He said this had happened in one of the last 4 seasons, which is 25%.
One of the last 5, I pulled up 23 as well.
Okay.
So.
I mean, I think I'm still around-ish tripling.
Yeah, I agree.
Do we have any interest in skewing Cass? Are you trying to make him go
I don't care.
big or small? You don't care. Do I care? I think I might try and tempt him actually, because he seems a bit bullish this episode. Seems to think he's got a chance to win. So let's tempt him with some bigger points. I'm gonna say 4, 11, 7, 23. Does that work for you, Cass?
Like it.
Go on then, Gita. Which?
Go 723.
Okay. Right.
I can't help on the Z one because I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Well, let's do Cass's first. I'm a bit confused. I think you might have had a bit of a brain fade, Cass, and just in your phrasing, because I don't exactly understand.
I
You've
assume you
put,
meant
Yeah.
unlocked, not Villa.
yeah, you've put there will be at least 3 special guests from Survivor, and then put on the main show, not just Villa.
Yeah, I've been watching too much Love Island, can you tell? Because I used Villa instead of house and that house. But I'm talking like in the studio, like, maybe doing unlocked or something, but that was counting that. Like, so
Okay.
3, yeah, so 3 total on the show, on the show that we watch every night. You know what I mean?
Right.
So are we going official broadcast plus unlocked or just official broadcasts?
Let's go plus unlocked. Yeah.
Plus unlocked. Okay, I think plus unlocked is pretty likely.
Yeah.
I the only thing that makes me doubt it a little bit is as much as they brought in 2 Survivor players, if they give Survivor too much credit, then does it start making them look bad? So does that disincentivize them from wanting to do it? I
think slightly more likely than 50% that this happens. I mean,
yeah.
I guess we are also talking special guests. So like, because Boston Rob, I think, hosted it last season with them, right?
Yes. Yeah, he did. So yeah. I tend to agree that it's probably a little more likely than 50-50, so I don't think there's
Yeah.
big points on this one. Um any interest in skewing it, Jeter, or
8 is a little bit scary.
okay. So you want to incentivize the
but
lower one?
only like slightly.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say. Well, let's double 4 to try and make it look interesting, and then we'll go 1.5 on the 8. So we'll go 4. Wager 4 to get 8, or wager 8 to get 12. Cass.
I'll go 4. I feel like I'm content with having lower points for this one.
Okay. And then finally, I couldn't think of one, so I decided to go semi-ridiculous. I have said that someone will require the Christmas/Jasmine leg trolley scooter thing. That like somebody is going to seriously injure their leg and have to use the weird thing that they drag themselves around in. I I I don't suspect it's especially likely, and Jita has no clue. So Cass, this one's kind of over you to adjudicate exactly how unlikely you think it is.
I feel like this is probably about in line with Benji's in the unlikelihood. I think that it's not very likely. You tend to see a lot less injuries on Big Brother anyway than you do on something like Survivor. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's very likely, but I think it's possible. So I would say put it in the same realm as Benji's.
Okay.
That's a 2 and a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done some Googling, and I think I've worked out that it's like one of those things where, like, if you get hurt, you basically like wheel yourself around and your knee leans on it.
Yes.
I think that this is quite unlikely, and I'd be more than willing to try and tempt him into the 9.
Cool.
So I'm thinking
Sure.
like, what we said that this is like Benji, which was like a 4 times.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to go. What? So that's
9.
16.
What's 16?
The 2, right? Or am
2 times 4
I'm
is
squaring.
8.
I was squaring. I did 2. I was like, I did 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 times 2. Like,
Yeah, so I liked 2 and 8 and 9 and oh my gosh, my brain, is it 36?
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
right?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I did the, like, instead of multiplying, I squared it, or
Oh
like
wait, is
raised it
it?
to the power. You're right. No, it's not. It's
Yeah.
it's 2, 8, 9, 36.
Okay.
So I'd be willing to go maybe 938 and like 2 8.
Yeah, 2, 8, 9, 38. I'm good with that.
Okay. Well, no, you're not going to tell me. I'm sticking with the 2. I don't think this is very likely. I just couldn't think of anything, and the thought, especially if it was one of the dude bros that injured themselves, just having to trolley themselves through the house, was very amusing to me.
Makes sense.
Wait, why is...
I'm italicizing them because we chose them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Trying to help.
No, I only noticed mine had italicized and was like, why did I try and joker my bonus
No, I was
wage?
trying to indicate that we had
You were
chosen those
confusing a
ones.
sleep-deprived man, Jeter. Let's be
Yes.
careful
Yes,
here.
this is accurate. But no. Okay. We got through it. It was a longer recording. But we have covered...
We had a lot to say.
Indeed. We have covered everything to do with BB28. Can't wait to find out that we're completely wrong about who L is, and that L is going to win the whole season, whoever they are. But yeah, it's
Coach
been...
L. Wood or Coach L. Wade.
For God's sake. Cass, been a pleasure. We haven't had a Cass episode for a while. Glad to see you. Jeter, good to see you as well, because you do fewer episodes now. We'll see if either of you can get a win, or maybe it'll be Benji. Maybe Benji is going to be the new person to beat. We'll see.
That'd be cool. That'd be funny if he came in on his first episode and beat Jeter. I would actually love that.
It would.
I wouldn't.
But yeah, we will find out in about 3 months who has won this episode. But yeah, to you at home, until we see you all again, remember to always be big mystics, not big mistakes. Bye!